Spotter Stand Live, starring Pockets, Hot Rod, Bubble J, Joba, Momo, Scar, Eddie D, Albion, Gear, featuring SR5, Road Rat, Randy C, DeVito, Vince Conway, Mike Coulon, Sean Frederick, musical guest BSR Mayhem, and your host, BSR Texan. Ladies and gentlemen, BSR Texan.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Spotter Stand. How you doing out there, Big Vito? Good to see you joining us tonight. We got here with us BSR Hot Rod, Mike Coulon joining us tonight, and also BSR Mayhem joining us live this evening. How you guys doing?
Hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Well, I would like to kick tonight off with. I'm sure he's probably not out there yet, but maybe he will come by and watch sooner or later. Not sure how far he'll get through it, so we're going to do this right in the beginning. I'd like to give a little shout out to BSR Momo. Momo, I just got one thing that I would like to say to you.
Hey Momo, how was your vagina today?
Thank you for the assist there, Mayhem. That's exactly what I wanted to say to Momo.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I've left you guys on black screen again. How did I do that? Man, that's getting to be a habit for me. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to change that scene when the intro ends there. So, Bristol last week. Bristol. I'm sure a lot of people are glad to be done with Bristol. Just about as glad as I was to be done with Darlington when that week of racing was over. But for some of us, it was a pretty good week. As one of us in particular in here almost swept the week. Mayhem. So let's jump right into it. Let's take a look at Wednesday night's truck race at Bristol. So we are now 6 races in to this truck chase, over halfway, only 4 races left to go. And at Bristol, it was Mike Coulon who picked up the pole with a hell of a time. Wasn't that a 16-1, somewhere in that range, I believe it was?
16-1-6-1.
Hell of a lap for Mike Coulon. Wednesday night's race, I will admit, it made me go back and do some work on my setup for Friday night. And I'm glad I did, because I got down into the ones on Friday night. Only ran a few of them, but definitely had a better setup for Friday than I did for Wednesday. Mike Coulon and Mayhem both had great trucks Wednesday night. They were battling each other most of the night. As you can see, Mayhem did take the victory in the trucks on Wednesday night, but it was a hell of a race up until the point where Mike Coulon had a little trouble in the pits. What happened to you in the pits, Mike?
I sped on pit road and tried to dive back into pits to make another lap to serve the penalty, and then spun. So kind of doubled up on my pain and anguish.
Shot himself in both feet. That was the last pit stop of the
Pit
night,
stop.
too, was it not?
Yes, it was.
That seems to be the one. That's the one where it'll get you, the very last one. I think we only had one caution in that entire race on Wednesday night. It was fairly early in the race, and it went green the rest of the way with a couple of different green flag pit stops going on. And it was BSR Mayhem coming out with the victory on Wednesday night, closing the gap a little bit in this truck chase in the points. Let's go take a look at the race results from Wednesday night's truck race.
Yes, Mayhem with the win. Texan second. Mike salvaged out third. Hot Rod got fourth. And Sean Fredericks got fifth.
Look at that, 108 laps led out of a 200 lap race. That's over half the race Mayhem led, and Mike Coulong almost right there with him, led 80 laps. The only two other drivers to manage to lead a lap were Sean Fredericks and Eddie D. Sean led 6 laps. Eddie D also led 6 laps. And man, that was a hell of a race. Only the top 2 cars finishing on the lead lap. Of course, Mike Coulong would have been right there battling Mayhem for that victory had he not had the trouble in the pits. But that was a hell of a race. One caution that entire race long, and congrats on the win there, Mayhem.
Oh, thank you. I think the one thing that got me ahead and then kept me ahead was pitting one lap early. And that definitely got me some track position on Mike, and that helped me throughout that second run. And I was able to keep it up there. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely a good truck. And, yeah, it was a fun race.
Yeah, pitting early can definitely be an advantage at a track like this because your lap times are, I think my laps were a good 1 second to 1.5 seconds off fresh tires by the end of the fuel run. And I pitted, I think, 1 lap, 2 laps before you did. And when I came out, I think when I went in, you guys were 7, 8, 9 seconds ahead of me. But when I came out of the pits and the pit cycle had finished, Mike Coulong was only about 2 or 3 seconds ahead, and you were only about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of me. So I gained a little bit on both of you guys in the pit stop, but you just pulled away from me again. So I was lucky. I was pretty sure I was going to finish a lap down on that race, the way it was going, the way you guys were able to just pull right away from me. But you were taking it easy there at the end, not having anybody to race against. And I think that's the only reason I got as close to you as I did.
The tire, there was a point, the truck would change every 10, 12 laps, and you'd get a different, you'd have to just start to drive it differently. And there's at one point for my truck where it was just nice going in. It would push up the track, and I was able to just floor it coming off. And then all of a sudden it would get loose as I would hit the throttle on that certain cycle. You have to just kind of take it easy for, 12, 15 laps. And that definitely probably allowed you to catch up.
I see Pockets in here with the provisional 8th place points, 36 points. Pockets brings home for this race. This week was a tough week for Pockets. I believe he used several provisionals here during Bristol.
2.
2.
Yep, Wednesday and Friday.
Let's go take a look at our standings here. See how this shook the points up, this Bristol race. So I still have the lead, but it is only by 5 points over Mayhem. Mike Coulong up to 3rd place, down by 31. Pockets, 4th place, down by 39. And Sean Fredericks rounding out the top 5, down by 41 points. So it's a battle for the lead here in the chase. Looks like, Mike, you're 31 back, 4 races to go. That's a very long shot right there. Mayhem and I would both have to have some trouble in a couple of different races, I think, for you to be able to make up those points. But 5 points separating the lead with just 4 races left to go. And that's not many. That's not many points. You are the defending truck champion here, Mayhem. So how does it feel going defending your championship, 5 points back with just 4 races to go.
Well, after making up the points last week and coming into Vegas, I have a good feeling, minus any bad luck, that I can win this race, get you in the points, and hopefully this new equipment will keep me a little ahead of the game. They're going into Martinsville and Phoenix, where Phoenix, I know you got something for me. So I got to have some good racing at Talladega, and I gotta win Vegas. Without winning Vegas, I don't think I have much of a shot.
Well, I've seen you race Talladega and Daytona plenty of times. You've come and joined us on Saturday night, and you are definitely no slouch at the super speedway racing. You pit as well as any of us. So I've seen you, in a green flag race with no yellow flags. I've seen you nail every pit stop and be there battling for the win at the end of these races several times. So I know you're no slouch there either. That's a toss up. Once we come to Talladega, it's anybody's game there. So I hope you're right about Phoenix. I do love Phoenix, and I do have a pretty good car. I drive Phoenix pretty well. So I hope you're right there. And be honest, I hope you're wrong about Vegas, man. I'm
I got a pretty decent setup for Phoenix too. I can't wait till we get to Phoenix in the CTS physics.
Yeah, Talladega, I mean, on the super speedways, I can be aggressive early because I like to make moves. I like to see what I got. I like to practice for the later in the race where you got to make a move. You might as well do it early safely without trying to, wreck yourself on lap 2. But finding a dancing partner is tough. People don't like to normally go with me because I kind of leave everybody hanging. I'll just, you know what I mean? If I just want to see what it's like to get out front, I'll hang out the guy who I was racing with for the last 10 laps. But again, we're only 15 laps, 20 laps in the race. So by the end, people remember that, and no one wants to go with me. So without that help, you're not getting the win there.
Well, here's the other thing, Mayhem. Most of the super speedway racing you do is in the team series. And in the team series, not being affiliated with team, yeah, teammates kind of go with teammates more than they will with you. So yes, that's part of the thing. So
yeah, and they will
we'll see when it comes down to a winner takes all deal. You may find you have a little more help than what you used to. Is what I was getting at. I should say.
Yeah, in those team series, those teams will use that extra car. The guy they know is not on a team. If they need to make some points, they need to make a line move. They'll go with you then. And they'll use you to help make the whatever line move so that they can get ahead of the team they need to. I shouldn't even give you this piece of advice, but I will. With the super speedways, you're talking about making a move early and people remembering that. And one thing that you got to keep in mind in these super speedway tracks is the possibility of leading the most laps, getting that extra bonus point. That definitely matters. Those bonus points, leading a lap, that point matters. Leading the most laps, that point matters. And if you can run with somebody enough to get to where they'll want to run with you and not necessarily leave them hanging to where they remember it, if you get to the point where you are in the lead, they're more likely to stay behind you and push you around the track. And you might have a better chance at leading the most laps, if you do that. Whereas if you hang people out and just go make your move and they don't really want to run with you, chances are you get to the front, they're going to try to pass you. So,
well, I gladly accept your invitation to come push me around the track for that race. Absolutely. That sounds great.
You can bet I'm going to know where the points are. So let's go back over to the schedule here, take a look at what our last 4 races in this chase for the Truck Series Championship are going to be. This Wednesday, we're coming up on Las Vegas. Vegas, actually all of these tracks, great tracks, great racing tracks here. Vegas coming up, Talladega after that, Martinsville, short track racing next to the last race, and then we're going to finish out the season at Phoenix.
Yes, Phoenix.
So coming up on Vegas, you guys, I believe you said you already had the server set up for some Vegas mayhem. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
In
Yeah, I
this,
hope you can join us if you're not gonna.
oh, absolutely, I'll join you. Yeah,
Awesome.
I had a good 4 hour nap this afternoon. I'm ready to go. So let's move over, take a look at Thursday night Cup Series. We are now 3 races in to the Cup Series chase, and once again, it was a BSR Mayhem who dominated the race on Thursday night. Mayhem did take the pole and took the victory as well. Mike Coulong again, though, with a great car on Thursday night. Mike, hell of a race on Thursday. I think I was actually in this one a little bit more than I was Wednesday night. Myself, Mayhem, and Mike Coulong were racing together most of the night long. And again, it was, I believe, just one caution in this race. This was a hell of a race. I think myself and Mayhem were side by side for a few laps, several different times. I don't know how you're able to get that car to work on the outside the way you do, but I couldn't make the pass on you on the bottom. I would get underneath you, and you were able to hang it in there just enough so I couldn't get a run off the corner to sweep up in front of you to really get back in the gas. And I was able to hang it next to you for a couple of laps, but I just couldn't make the pass. So great job, great race, and another great win here in the Cup Series.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a hell of a lot of fun side by side. And, it's being able to keep the car a little bit looser. So when you can press on the throttle on that high side, it'll turn that arc. And, you need that run because really you're running the shorter part of the track. But yeah, like you said, you have to sort of lift and not push up and you lose the momentum there. And that was a hell of a lot of fun.
There was a couple times during that race I was looking in my mirror and watching Mike behind us, and I saw him. I know he was just as fast as we were, but I saw him drop back just a little bit, 1/10, 2/10 of a second further than where he was. And I know he's thinking these guys are about to wreck each other. And I don't want to be involved in that. I want enough distance so I can safely get by when they do wreck each other.
I was hoping that you guys were going to get into each other the last lap, not maybe wreck each other, but enough to get sideways or something. Give me an opportunity.
Oh yeah, it's just a couple of years of. As I said, it's got to keep the car truck loose, car loose. You gotta close your eyes, have a little bit of luck, and you gotta trust the guys next to you, and then you can have some pretty kick-ass racing.
Yeah, trusting the guy that's next to you, knowing what they're gonna do. Everybody makes mistakes every once in a while, but you got to know if you're on that high line, especially, you got to know if that guy's going to hold his line or not. If you feel confident holding your car in there on the outside, that he's not going to push up into you. And sometimes it happens. It still happens every once in a while, but most of the time, you know who you're racing and what they're capable of doing and how they drive. It makes for some great racing when you can get up side by side and battle each other like that.
Bristol, baby.
Let's go take a look at our race results from Thursday night's Cup Chase at Bristol.
Yes, Mayhem with the win. Texas second, Mike Coulong third, Sean Fredericks fourth, and Hot Rod fifth.
Hot Rod top 5 at Bristol. Nice job.
All 3 nights, baby.
Nice
All
job.
3.
I see Pockets was there Thursday night, finished in 6th right behind you. And
Yes.
once again, you can see just one caution. Total of 13 lead changes, 4 drivers led laps. And again, Mayhem dominated the front of the pack, 117 laps led. Looks like I managed to lead 58 of them. Mike Coulong led 15. And Hot Rod led the other 10 laps, the other race. So yeah, leading the most laps, Mayhem, that's helping you, not only getting the victory, but then leading the most laps as well. You can see, look at the points you gained on me here. 4 points. You got 46, I got 42. So that's 4 points you gained here in this Cup Series. Were you down by like 9 points, I believe? So we're going to be the same.
Yeah, it's 5 back in this series as well.
Yeah, let's go take a look here at the standings. Just 3 races into the Cup chase. Yes, 5 points back to BSR Mayhem. And we have now got a tie for 3rd place between BSR Pockets and Mike Coulong, both back by 22 points. Momo rounding out the top 5 down by 24. And look who's got his sights on the top 5 right there. BSR Hot Rod in 6th place down by 25, only 1 point behind Momo right now.
Sneaking in there.
So that's 5 points in the truck, 5 points in the cup, and both series. You are the defending champion in both of these series from last season. So, man, here I'm sitting battling with the defending champ, and I've only got a 5-point lead. Of course, in the trucks, we only have 4 races left to go, but in this cup series, we have still got 7 races left till we get to the end of this thing, and only 5 points. That's not enough points to be ahead of the champ going into the rest of this chase.
No, it's going to be close for sure. I have some tracks I'm confident at. Other ones I'm not so sure, but I know it's going to be close at the end. If no bad luck happens to either of us, we're going to be right there at the end. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is going to be another one of those years where it may be decided by just 1 point, possibly even a tie at the end where we have to go down to 2nd place finishes, which we almost did last year. Dang near went to a tie last year, 1 point. Let's go back to the schedule here and see what races we've got left. I think Darlington, that was my bad race of the year. That was the one. I'm glad it was first. The rest of these tracks, I'm fairly confident. I'm decent at most of the rest of these tracks for the rest of this Cup series. So like you said, barring any bad luck for either of us, it's going to be really close. And we're going to have to keep our eye on Mr. Coulong sitting back there in 3rd, 22 points back, because either one of us have any kind of bad luck, and he's going to be right there to capitalize on that.
Better watch out for Momo at the road course station.
Yeah, I remember last year at the road course, as a matter of fact. Pockets took the victory in this. Momo and myself got into a little incident. He did to me exactly what I did to you, Hot Rod.
That's right.
Yeah. What was that, Mid-Ohio?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he Mid-Ohio'd me. But, that's what happens. That's what happens. That first turn, the first 2 turns, really, it's not much of a straightaway there. You're getting that first left-hander, and then the next left-hander is right behind that one. And that's where it happened. You're coming down there pretty fast, and people brake differently going in through those corners. And Momo was just able to get through there quicker than I was, and he got into my back quarter panel a little bit. And
he got through that first left-hander way faster than you did, and he just didn't expect you to be there, I don't think, and he just got in the.
But Pockets was right there to capitalize on that, and he took that victory in the Roval last year. So that Roval, that is going to be that's going to be one of those races where anything can happen, because
that's the wild card race.
Yeah,
right
see,
there.
I took 2nd last year from that, and without you having that trouble, that's there's that point that I beat you by, if not more.
Oh, so I can blame that championship loss on Momo then, and
Absolutely
nothing to do with blowing 4th gear in the last race of the season.
You might have to add those together, but yeah.
Yeah, that road course that's one of the toughest ones, I think, that we race at, only because it seems it's a little more slippery than some of the other tracks. There's a few spots in this road course where if you get on the gas just a little too hard, a little too early, you can go right around really easily, and that can change everything.
Well, here's the other thing with that. That was the first time we ever ran that particular road course, so everybody was new. I mean, everybody got lots of practice and all that kind of stuff, but that track was new. I mean, real new to everybody. So everybody will have a little more time on it now. So I expect it to be a little better race this time around too. So
Yeah, with those two chicanes, whatever you want to call them, they're on the the main part of the track. They're both a little bit different. One is a little bit tighter than the other one. The other one has got wider turns, but those are easy spots to mess up as well. You especially that first one. But isn't there a wall just past that first one on the left hand side where if you screwed that first one up, you could head
Yeah,
on
you
right into
slide
that
into
wall?
that wall. Yes, absolutely.
And those curbs are pretty big as well. So you hit those curbs wrong, um, you could flip your truck over. So we'll be coming into Las Vegas this Thursday night in the Cup Series, and that's going to be a great race. Las Vegas is a great track for some more side-by-side racing, and I'm looking forward to this coming up week here in racing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go over to Friday night and take a look at Friday night's race. If I can find the Friday, there we go. Friday NXS 15 Chase. So we're now 4 races in to the chase for the Xfinity Series, and we've got 6 races left to go. Bristol night, we had a different winner tonight, or this past Friday. As I said, I didn't like that finish I had on Wednesday night. So Thursday, my car ran really good Thursday night in the Cup Series. It was fast. I was happy with it, even though I didn't get the win. I still was able to hang up there with the leaders, and I just went in and I took my Cup setup from Thursday night and I changed it to a .cts and imported it in, and went and made some couple of very small changes. I changed the gear, obviously, for the CTS physics, and I think all I did to it, other than that, was I clicked the weight back a couple of times, added a little bit of camber, and moved the track bar up on the right, one click, and that setup was awesome. Like I said, I was able to pull some 16.1s with the race setup, which before that, my track record was a 16.205, and Wednesday night I couldn't even get anywhere near that. I was running, threes were my best laps, and my average lap was a 5 or a 6 with that other setup I was running. But I was able to run twos and threes pretty regularly with that race setup that I had tweaked. So, that's one of the things that I do like about having the same physics on Wednesday night and Friday night using that CTS is when you're revisiting that same track on Friday that you ran Wednesday, you do have opportunity to tweak your set a little bit if you feel like you need to. You get a preview of Friday night's race during the Wednesday night truck race. So if you got some work to do, um, you know it after Wednesday night, and I was able to make those tweaks and make a better setup for Bristol. And as old as this game is, as long as we've been running this, most of the setups that I have are what I've been running for the last few years. They're tweaked pretty much to just about as far as I think, as good as I can get them. But obviously, we know there's still room for improvement out there because I definitely made some improvements on that one, and it was worth it. That was a hell of a race.
Yeah, it was a good win, man. You definitely improved. And I love that too. When you go to the same track Wednesday and Friday, you get that chance to make some changes and try again. It gives you sort of a mulligan if you didn't do well on the first one.
Yeah, we missed you on Friday night, Mike. We were kind of hoping you'd be able to make it. We would have had a 3-way race instead of just a 2-way.
Yeah, sorry I missed it.
Well, let's go over and take a look at our race results from Friday night's Xfinity race at Bristol.
Yes, Texan with the win, Mayhem second, Hot Rod third, Rookie fourth, and Randy C rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, we had now I'm looking at these laps led. It shows I led 113. But as you can see, there are not very many other laps in there. Mayhem led 3, Palmian led 1, Randy C led 1, and Eddie D led 1. We had a lap issue on Friday night where We were about 20 some odd laps into this race before it was noticed that the race was only 120 laps instead of 200 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time we were that far into the race, we decided to just go with it, and so we wrapped up a little bit early on Friday night, but it was still a great race. And hats off to Palmian, the rookie, and Randy C. And Eddie D. All three of those drivers. Eddie D. still fairly new, and Palmian, as we know, even newer than Eddie D. All three of those guys leading a lap at Bristol. Great job. Awesome. Even if it is, staying out with fuel to lead the lap, just to be able to make it that far in, that deep into the fuel run without having to pit for tires, that's an accomplishment right there. Leading the lap.
They let under caution.
They let under caution?
Yeah, we had 8 or 5 cautions in this race. They let all their laps in caution.
Well, they still led a lap. So they got them a bonus point for it.
That's being smart enough to be aware to get that point. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Or I could have did the same thing. I chose not to because I thought I'd get one under green, but I didn't. We didn't get a long enough run.
I see Vito out there. Oh, Vito. Didn't you say yesterday in my stream how you deleted yourself off of RLM? Because I see him out there typing in. He got deleted completely. When you remove your name, Vito, from RLM, then it removed you from all the point standings because it's got to have a driver listed there.
Yes. I don't know. Ask Vito what his work schedule is this week.
I think he heard you. He'll be able to type it in there.
Yeah, tell him to type it in there. I'll try to get with him one of the nights that he's off, and we'll get him re-registered, and I'll have to go back through and manually put his points in. So,
yeah, Vito had a rough night Friday night at Bristol. Bristol's one of those tracks. It's just it's to me it's like a road course as far as seat time. The more laps you turn, the more consistent you're going to be, and the better you'll get at it. Because Bristol's one of those tracks that it's a rhythm thing. It's basically almost the same at both ends of the track. It's very little bit of difference as far as how much brake you can use and how early you can get in the gas. I think you can get in the gas usually a little bit sooner off of 3 than off of 2. And you use just a little bit more brake at one end of the track than the other, but not much. But getting it down where you can get back in the gas without spinning out coming off the corner and without slamming it up into the wall. It's all about the seat time. You got to turn a ton of laps at that track before you really feel comfortable. You didn't know you did that. I could have swore, Vito, in my stream last night that you were saying that you removed TeamSpeak and deleted yourself off of the BSR car file manager and all that stuff.
He's not in the standings, so
Mayhem's in here twice. We're going to get the echo.
maybe. I guess not. Oh, he's not talking. I seen his light, but don't hear
that's
nothing.
me. Hello.
There it is.
Well, let's go to the points here in the Friday night chase and take a look at what these points look like with 6 races left to go here in the Xfinity Series. A little bit more of a lead here. So feeling slightly comfortable on Friday night with a 23-point lead over second place BSR Mayhem. Pockets had to take Was Pockets listed in here as provisionals on Friday night? Yeah, I'm assuming he got them, seeing as how he's only 26 points back.
I thought I put him in. Hold on, I'll let you know in a second here.
So Pockets sitting in third, down by 26. Hot Rod in fourth, down by 33. And Eddie D. Oh, look at that. It's a tie for fifth place between Eddie D and Palmian. The good old rookie rivalry we've got going on here. Palmian and Eddie D always close to each other in these points. They're battling with each other on the track. They're always finishing within a spot or two of one another. And right now they are tied for fifth place in the Xfinity Series. 6 races left to go in this series, and which one of them is going to be able to take that top 5 position in the chase? That's a battle right there. I believe Pockets, he probably did get
Pockets did get his provisional for Friday, but when we were talking about provisionals, I remembered that I have to put one in per Palmion on Wednesday.
You might check, make sure he didn't already use his. I think he already used his Wednesday provisional.
That's why I didn't do it yet, because I had not got the check, but I will check in. If he's eligible, I will give it to him.
Yeah, so Pockets was in second place, and he's only down by 3 to Mayhem. If he had shown up for Friday night's race, I don't know, it would be pretty close. He might still be in second place, but either way, he's not far off of Mayhem right there. We got 6 races left to go, coming up to Vegas this week. But I got to tell you, I'm definitely feeling comfortable with that 23-point lead. I wish it looked more like that in the Cup or the Truck Series there, Mayhem.
Are you not the Friday night defending champion?
No,
Momo
is the Friday night defending champion.
That's right. The Momo. You didn't win any last year, Texas.
No, I did not. I did not win any
forgot.
championship last year.
And yes, Palmion already used his provisional at Gateway for Wednesday.
Yeah, I was really hoping for that Cup championship last year. I had a really good shot at that, and that would have been great to see 3 different champions in 3 different series. I don't know how long it's been since we've had that happen here at BSR, where 3 different drivers have won the championships. I know it's been a while. That would have been nice to get it last year, but
it's a shame.
It's a terrible crying shame. It was meant to be. Mayhem got it, and now he's defending 2 different series this year.
My first year here, Chevy got 2, you got 1. Then the next year, you swept all 3. Then last year, you didn't get any, and it was Mayhem and Momo. So we'll see what this year is. Looking like Mayhem may get a sweep.
It feels like you've been here longer than that.
No, I have not. That's what Pockets keeps telling me too, but no, I have not.
Now, that first year I think you were here, I don't know if I got any that year or not. Somebody else must have won one of the other ones, because I'm looking at what I've got up here. Oh, did I win the Cup that year and Chevy won the truck in the Xfinity? Possibly.
Yes. I believe so.
I'm just looking at the trophies that I have from Drunken Cow Jerky, and
well, you didn't sweep last year. It was the year before you swept.
Yes, it was the year before, 2018.
Right, 2017. What do you have for 2017?
2017, I won the Cup, and
because that was my first year. You should have only got the Cup, and Chevy got the truck and the Xfinity.
It must have been, maybe it was the 2 years before that, because I've got from Drunken Cow Jerky, when he was providing the trophies, I got a Cup and a truck trophy I believe, twice from Drunken Cow Jerky, where
And that,
I'd won 2 of the series, or
yeah,
not a cup, a truck and an Xfinity twice, and one of those I had also won the Cup Series as well.
and that was the year before I came that he was doing that because Rick took over the first year I was here was his second year giving out a cup trophy. Because I forget who got the one.
Now Rick gave them out for a long time, because I've got one that he gave out that was all the way back from 2012, I believe.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
maybe that's okay.
and I think it was maybe 2013, 2014 is one of the years so that was also before you were here. That's one of the years where I got 2 uh, from the Drunken Cow Jerky trophies as well. The first year you were here. I think I was also here, but I don't think it was a full season, and I don't think I won any of the championships that year.
Well, the first year I was here, you won the cup because 17 was my first year here.
Okay, well, yeah, then it was a cup only, and Chevy ran the other ones. And then 18, I won all 3 of them. Last year it was Mayhem winning the truck and the cup, and Momo took the Xfinity series.
Yeah, because I had run the team series a little bit in 16 at the end, like in the wintertime, right around the section New Thanksgiving and Christmas in there. I started running the team in 16, and then 17 I ran the rest of the winter, and then I split between here and the other place, and then in about June or July, I came full time over here in 17. So like in the middle of the year.
Let's go back to the schedule here on the Friday night series. 6 races left to go, and I don't know why that. There we go. Every once in a while, I accidentally hover over that Facebook square up there, and it pulls that thing down and just stays there. 6 races left to go, and it looks like Talladega is the one race that is left out of this Friday night series that we do have in the other series, or in the Cup.
Here, right?
Texas is here, yeah. So we're coming up on Las Vegas this Friday night. We'll be running Vegas all 3 nights, just like we ran Bristol all this past week. Then it looks like we skip a week during Talladega. On Friday night, we'll be off, and we move into the Charlotte Road Course the following week. Is that the following week? That is the following week. Charlotte Road Course. Man,
Yes.
that thing is coming up. It's right after Vegas, or right after Talladega, excuse me.
Yes, the week after Talladega.
And then we've got Kansas, Texas, Martinsville, and Phoenix. So coming up on Vegas all 3 nights this week. Mayhem, we know, is confident. He's got something for Wednesday, and if he's got something for Wednesday, you know he's got something for Friday as well. Thursday, however, how are you feeling about Thursday night at Vegas, man?
Oh, I feel just as good.
So I definitely need to get in here and run some practice laps with you. 5 points. Man, 5 points, that's just not much. You made up 4 points last week. All it takes is another 4 points, and you're 1 point behind me. Of course, if I can't finish in second place and you win the race, you might take the lead in both of these series coming here at Vegas.
That is my plan, sir.
So here's the thing, Mayhem, before we get too deep. That means we're going to have an off week the week of Talladega on Friday night. I know how you like to do the planned fun runs, so
Yeah, we'll probably do something.
just throwing that out there so you can maybe start digging some ideas together or whatever.
Now, something I would like to do that I just remembered, we did not cover the 5150. Let's go back over to the Thursday night Cup chase. So we are now 3 races in to the first 5, which make up the 5150 challenge presented by BSR Mayhem. I'm going to go ahead and throw up another quick pick of this 5150 Challenge trophy. Eddie Van Halen 5150 guitar replica. And there it is for you right there. Like I said, he's just got to finish up the bass. And he's waiting to find out who's going to win this thing probably before he does that. But that is a very, very cool trophy right there. I would be glad to add that to my shelf up here, Mayhem. But I don't know that I'm going to get a chance to because right now, Mr. Mike Coulong is ahead of us both in this 5150 challenge, and he is very strong at all of these tracks. And I don't know if we're going to be able to wrestle away a better average finishing position in just 2 more races.
I don't know. You cut a big chunk out of his average finish position last week, so
I don't think it was a big chunk because he finished second and first, and then he finished third. So now he has a first, second, and a third place finish.
yeah, but he was at a 1.5. Now he's at a 2.0.
Yeah.
And you guys came up. You were at almost 3.
I was trying to do the math. If I get a first place this week and Mike gets, let's say, a third, I might be able to overtake him.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. So
Yeah, if I were to maybe get another second and possibly be able to hold Mike to a third, I might be able to squeak on up there a little bit also. Let's go to let me get back over here to this other scene. Let's go to the statistics here. Just take a quick look. Average finishing position right here.
You don't have a win yet, so you're going to need a win.
Yeah, Mike Coulong slips back from a 1.5 to a 2. And I believe mine was third because I had finished third in both of those races. So I had an average finishing position of 3, moved up to a 2.67. And Mayhem, you were at 4, somewhere in there, right around 4. Finishing position, you moved up to a 3.33. And Momo is the next one back. It looks like him and Pockets are both tied at a 5.33.
Momo don't count because he didn't make this week, did he?
No, he didn't. You're right. So, yeah, you got to be at all 5 of those races. It looks like it's a battle between 3 of us right now for these next 2 races.
No, Momo was here. He was the first guy out. He retired first.
Okay, so then he was there. Now, if something happens to all 3 of us, with just 2 races to go, it's going to be really hard to make up, 2 or 3 spots as far as average finishing position over 2 races. But for the top 3 here, it's pretty close. And with 2 races left to go, and especially one of them being Talladega, where anything can happen there at Talladega, I think that might be where I don't think we've seen much of Mike racing at super speedways. But you raced at Daytona, didn't you, Mike? How did you do at Daytona?
Yeah, I screwed up my first pit stop and never was able to catch up.
That'll happen.
So that might be our deciding factor right there. It might be maybe at Daytona. We might have a little, or Talladega, we might have a little chance to get some finishing position up here.
Here's the thing. Mayhem's won, Mike's won, and Momo has won. Texan has not won.
I have not won.
Have not won.
And judging by Mayhem's confidence at Vegas, I'm not
going to win there either.
Probably not going to win there either. Yeah, you're right. So I got to look at Talladega. And really, I mean, my chances of winning at Talladega aren't that great either because there's so many good super speedway racers here. It's hard enough for me to get a win when I've got teammates helping me out, much less when it's every man for himself, and guys will run with you the whole race long. They'll push you around that track until it comes up to those last few laps. And, when it's not a team situation, you get to those last few laps. It doesn't matter who's been your dancing partner all night long. You're gonna do what you got to do to better your finishing position at Talladega. So,
Texas.
Yes.
You got to get with them guys that are good at the one-offs. You got to start running with them guys more.
So you're saying I got to work with Mayhem?
Mayhem's not good on the one-offs.
Of course he is.
What one-off Talladega or Daytona race has he won?
He's won. He's
I
won.
won.
He's won a Saturday night team race all by
Yeah.
himself up against teams.
Yeah, but that's a little different. That's not, you know what I'm talking about. Like the commander boards and the hangovers, and you got to get with them people.
Oh, like the hot rods. I got to work with the hot rods.
And the Momos. The Momo figures them out good too.
So you just give me your PayPal, and we'll take care of business.
Hey, we could work something out, Texan. We
Uh,
could work something out, buddy.
Maybe I could just get you to look over at that dirt trophy, that's sitting over there somewhere.
The one that's coming?
Oh, you'll get it. Yeah. No, I'm talking about the one from last year.
Hey, I just got that out and polished that today, as a matter of fact.
Well, that is pretty close average finishing position, I would say. 2 races left to go. I'm eager about this 5150 challenge. That's something it's only been around for the last couple of seasons now. Mayhem won the first one last year along with the Cup Series chase, and I would sure like to get that one. Of course, Mike Coulong, I'm sure, would like to get that one too. That is a very cool looking trophy.
Absolutely.
If you, I'm just throwing that out there. If you could wrestle away a win at Las Vegas next week on the spotter stand, can you imagine how tight that's going to be? Mayhem finishes second, Mike finishes third again.
I can
Well,
only imagine, but it ain't
What
gonna
if it's if
Throwing that out there.
imagine how tight it will be if Mayhem actually does pull off the win, and I were to finish second, Mike were to finish third. That would tighten all 3 of us up coming down
Yeah,
into Talladega.
yes, that would do that too.
And speaking of tightening up the points, let's go ahead and go over to Saturday night Team Series Season 42. We just ran race number 7 out of 10, and points got tightened up here for sure, even more than they were last week. So it was Aftershock who took the pole and the victory once again at Talladega.
And the point lead. Imagine that.
And the point lead. We have not had the point lead all season long. As a matter of fact, we started out back in 3rd place, I believe, and we've been in 3rd place for pretty much the whole season, right up until last week. We got a victory. We were able to get it up to within 4 points of the lead, and the lead last week was decided only by 1 point. Actually, it was 1 point before that. Right here at the end of race number 5, it was the Mafia who had the lead by just 1 point over Yingling. And after race number 6, that flip-flopped. I believe at race 5, Aftershock was down by about 11 points, something like that.
Yeah, not last week, but the week before that, you were down by 11.
Yeah.
And then you cut it down to 4, I believe.
Yeah, after week number 6, the lead flip-flopped to Yingling, taking the lead only by 1 point over the Mafia. That front spot, it's been close this whole season. And Aftershock picking up the win in that week was able to cut their point deficit from 11 down to 4 points. So the points really tightened up after week number 6. And with the Aftershock team taking another victory last night in this team series, that's moved Aftershock up to the front, and it is still very close. I think 3rd place is only down by 3 now instead of 4. So let's go take a look at our results from last night's race. It was Aftershock who took the victory. We also ended up leading the most laps, which I believe is what pumped us all the way up to the front of this field. 48 points total for the Aftershock team, and it was Palmian who brought home third place for the Yingling team.
Oh, he got second.
He didn't. Oh, he started in third. Okay, that's where he started. Yes, he brought home second place for the Yingling team. He did lead some laps, brought home 43 points for Yingling. And then it was SS Joba, brought home third place for the Black Car Mafia. Also led some laps, brought home 42 points for the Black Car Mafia. So this was only 1 point difference from Yingling to Mafia. Looks like it's going to be 2 points difference now from Yingling to Mafia, but the lead, I believe, is still just 1 point. Let's go over to the standings. It is Aftershock in the lead by just 1 point over the Yingling team, and Mafia only 3 points back in third place. That is a tight race, just how these team series usually do end up coming down towards the end of the season. It comes down to that last race almost every season to find out who's going to be the best team, who's going to take the victory in each season. So we've only got 3 races left to go, and points very close right now between all 3 of these teams. Although Aftershock, we've had to work at it. We've had some not so great finishes the first few races. If we go back over here to the schedule and you look, we've had 7 races. After race number 6, each team had won 2 races. So now Aftershock has taken their 3rd win. So we've got 3 wins versus only 2 wins for these other 2 teams. And those 2 teams are still within 1 and 3 points of the Aftershock, even with Aftershock having 1 more victory than the other ones. That just shows you where the average finishing position comes in, because obviously in the first few races we had a little bit worse average finish than these other 2 teams have over their 7 races.
All I know is me and Rookie are working at it every week.
Well, y'all been doing a great job, and really, considering the amount of time that he has been running, he's done a great job with these super speedways and the pitting. It takes most guys a little bit longer to get that pitting down to where they can stay with the leaders and stay with the lead pack. But I mean, he picked it right up. He picked it right up, and he's pretty consistent with his pit stops every time. He had some bad luck this past Saturday night with a black flag, and
yeah, right at the end.
Yeah.
It kind of messed up our whole strategy thing after me and Mayhem got together on pit road. We had a strategy, me and Rookie, and his black flag kind of messed that whole strategy thing up. So,
well, he still pulled off a 2nd place finish, even though he ended up getting that black flag. I went back and rewatched that pit stop after the race was over, and he was about the same speed as I was coming into the pit, so he was fine getting in. He stayed on the brake the whole time. He got it down to about 53 miles an hour, but when he stepped back on the gas to average his speed out, he jumped back up to 56, 57, and then got it back down fairly quickly, but not quick enough. And that was all it took to get him that black flag right there.
Anyway, me and Rookie had the best average finish. So,
well, we got just 3 races left to go. Does it show? Let's go look and see our statistics over here. Are these shown as individual drivers? No, they are shown as teams. So, yeah, you've got 2.14, Black Car Mafia 2.43, and you can see Aftershock 2.71. So there's the reason right there that it's taken Aftershock 3 victories to just barely be ahead of these guys by only 1 and 3 points. It's that average finishing position right there. But you can look at the average start. We start well, just a matter of how we finish. And average points, we are all pretty close. 43.8, 43.7, 43.4.
Yeah.
Pretty close in average points right there.
Top fives are all tied. Top tens are all tied.
Well, that's about all we've got for you guys this week. It's been another awesome week of racing. Bristol behind us, over halfway through the chase in the Truck Series, coming up on halfway through the chase in the Xfinity Series after this next week of racing. And we've got 7 races left to go in the Cup Series, the big show. And the points are tight. Points are close in everything we've got right now. The Xfinity Series, 23 points. That's a little bit of a gap right there, but points very tight in the Truck Series. Points very tight in the Cup Series. And we've got a nail biter for that 5150 challenge with just 2 races coming up to go. Man, that's... Yeah, I don't know why I can't quit thinking about that or can't stop talking about it, but that's going to be interesting. I'm ready to see how that's going to play out after Las Vegas here. I'm ready to get in the server here with you guys and see what you got and see what I need to do before we get to Wednesday night.
Yes, sir. Come bring it.
Well, with that, we appreciate all you guys tuning in out there. And thank you to you guys for coming in and helping out. We're going to call it a night, and we'll see you all on the track in the trucks Wednesday night at Las Vegas.
Holla.
You're practicing CTS?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All righty then.